AJJF is registered with the United States as a non-profit sports and educational organization. So it's registered with the United States government as a non-profit sports and educational organization.
This is a problem. Se 20 years.
AJJF started in 1999. It started this cooperation with Asia. Started as a Ju-Jitsu organization first, because I was a Ju-Jitsu master. So I started with Ju-Jitsu, but over the years, a lot of masters in karate and judo come together. So now it's not just Ju-Jitsu anymore. Now we have a division of traditional Ju-Jitsu. We have a division of sports Ju-Jitsu. We have a division of Kampa Ju-Jitsu. We have a division of traditional Judo, Shotokan Judo. We have a division of Aikido. For military people, we have a division of hand-to-hand combat or self-defense. We have many different good masters in karate. So we have a traditional karate division. We have a Kampa karate division. We have a Kempo karate division. So we have very Japanese. The whole organization, we only support Japanese culture. So we're getting very strong support from Japanese government right now. So and in Japan. Before it was Japanese community in America was supporting us. Now we're getting support from the Japanese government. We're very closely working now with the Japan Foundation. Japan Foundation is a Japanese government educational organization under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. So AJJF Global and Japan Foundation, we're working very, very close together, because Japan Foundation mission is to promote Japanese culture. AJJF Global mission promote Japanese culture via or through Japanese Budo. So we're preserving Japanese Budo and promoting Japanese culture. So I get a lot of special invitations from Japan Foundation to go to many cultural programs in the United States. Japanese Foundation, they realize that we're doing a very important job for Japan, because we're promoting Japanese culture through Japanese Budo. But we're preserving something traditional. And Japanese culture is, becoming too modern. So they're using this traditional Budo, and this big organization headquarters in Los Angeles supporting and promoting Japanese Budo. And a lot of world famous Japanese karate, judo, jiu-jitsu masters are members now of AJJF. Both living in Japan and a lot of them living in America. So we're going to get in both. The list is too big. For the headmaster for Shotokan karate in Okinawa, Kanazawa. He is a vice president of AJJF and he is a member of Kanazawa. But I'm saying there are so many that we have a list now is huge of Japanese who living in Japan and Japanese who living in America supporting us. A lot of famous judo and jiu-jitsu masters who died in the past few years were members of AJJF. One of my close friends and senior He's a senior vice president of the GF. Nori Minasawa. He's a world champion in judo. He was a captain of Japanese judo team in Shotokan Institute, and later on he became coach of American Olympic team in judo. He wrote an interesting book published on the development of Brazilian jiu-jitsu through Shotokan. So he lives very close to me in Los Angeles. So a lot of very, very famous teachers. If you want a list, I'll email you the list of... Sure. But I want to make it more correctly. So the famous, I will email you the famous judo and karate Japanese school in Japan for members of the GF.
To focalize,
Yeah.
every two magazines together is like 100,000 copies every month.
You're a rich man for giving away.
And you know, the people know what is the best.
Of course.
Want to know what is the point.
Yes. That's why I will send you accurately famous legends in judo, karate, and jiu-jitsu who passed away and living important people in AJJIF from Japan.
Many years ago, I joined
Yes. He's a good man. He's a very good man. Yeah.
Anyway, you started jiu-jitsu.
My original, I always wanted to study Jiu-Jitsu, but I was born in the Soviet Union, and Jiu-Jitsu was illegal at the time. Only KGB practiced Jiu-Jitsu. So I started with freestyle wrestling and Judo in 1977. When I come to United States in 1978, I knew what I wanted. So I met my sensei, and I studied traditional classical Jiu-Jitsu. I had a chance also to study a little bit of karate. And Los Angeles is a place where all the great teachers come and live. We're fortunate. So when I was young, I was very curious. So I went to many schools. I don't like them, but so I was fortunate to meet very good teachers who were, some of the teachers who brought Jiu-Jitsu to the United States. So I had a chance to study truly with the legends. So as a young person, I was absorbing whatever they were able to give. And I had a chance directly to study with the legends, like Professor WJJF. I knew him for many years. Because probably his son was living in England at the time. And then I had a study with Sik Kufarov. Yes, Sik Kufarov, who was a very famous Jiu-Jitsu master. Sik Kufarov was a good friend of Alexey. But Sik Kufarov was a headmaster of Kodenkan Danzano Jiu-Jitsu. A professor of Izaki who lived in Hawaii in 1920s, 30s, and 40s established a big Kodenkan Danzano Jiu-Jitsu in Hawaii. Professor WJ studied there his Jiu-Jitsu under Professor of Izaki in Hawaii, and Sik Kufarov also, they were classmates. But when Professor of Izaki died, by the way, Professor of Izaki was a very famous restoration therapist. He was doing ancient ama massage using the elbow. President Roosevelt came to him many times to Hawaii to receive treatment. Yes. So when Professor Okizaki died, Sik Kuforov became a headmaster of Danzanlo Jiu-Jitsu. And later on he moved to California. So I had a chance to study with Sik Kuforov not just Jiu-Jitsu, but restoration therapy, ama massage. And I was fortunate when Sik Kuforov personally was doing massage on me, and it was not pleasure, it was pain, it was hard. Yeah. So over the years, when I was with my Japanese sensei, Tanimura, I was with him many years. No, it's a different Tanimura. He lived in Los Angeles. He was head of the old clan. I met him accidentally while I was sitting in the park meditating. I met him by accident. He was doing Qigong exercises. And so I asked him if he can accept me as his student. He had very few students because Tanimura. I just called him Sensei Tanimura. Yeah. He was very strict, very shy. He was a Buddhist, so he was very strict. And he was teaching me not just the classical jiu-jitsu, he was teaching me philosophy and principles, which is much more important, because everybody can learn the techniques, but the principles, philosophy, meditation, Qigong exercises, this is, so he was teaching me the spiritual side of Jiu-Jitsu. He had very few students, because by American standards he was strict, very strict. So, but I stayed with him many years and trained. He had no son, and the problem is when you die, the clan dies. The clan is old, so if you don't want the clan to disappear, you have to pass down not just the knowledge, but has to announce you as his inheritor. So he gave me Menkyu Kaiden. I'm his inheritor of the ancient style of Katabami Jiu-Jitsu. So I'm a headmaster of Katabami Jiu-Jitsu clan at the moment. And I'm already, now I'm getting wiser, so I publicly appointing, like in my home dojo, in front of my students, they know that I have a son who's 9 years old. He's beginner, he's learning, but I already told my black belts, he's my inheritor, so he can continue. Yes, even so he's only a beginner, and I have students who've been with me for 20 years. I would say. Yes. Alexey Jr. I'm Alexey Senior now. It's Alexey Jr. Typical American name. By the way, it's the name in the old Russian culture. Russian names had a meaning. They were not just given names, they have a spiritual meaning. In the old Russian language, Alexey in translation means the man of God. Man of God. So when I continue practice my jiu-jitsu, I need a profession, because when I was in college I studied philosophy. When you finish college, what are you going to do with philosophy in America? You know? So I needed a realistic profession. So I went to the US Army, and I graduated from US Army Medical School, became a therapist. It's a physical therapist. Physical therapy, my specialty is physical therapy and behavioral analysis. So I can do therapy for the body, but also analysis, behavioral analysis. So if there is a war, I analyze the people. If they're under stress, I give them therapy. If they're pretending they're under stress, I give them rest and push them back into the work. So that's my specialty, is behavioral analysis.
And he never was learning where?
Okay, my training was San Antonio, Texas. Yes, US Army Medical School. And then I worked, when I graduated from the US Army Medical School, I worked for 2 years in the US Army Reserve. And also I worked at UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, as a therapist. And now we're talking about, it was 1991. The war started with Iraq. It was the first Gulf War. And I was, my unit was activated, so I had a chance to work with the special forces. I used to train them hand-to-hand combat. I received the training in survival of nuclear biological weapons. So the special forces were training us how to survive chemical, biological, and I was training them hand-to-hand combat. And so when I finished the military training, I started teaching Jiu-Jitsu, traveling, and I realized the importance of creating a federation that preserves the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. I knew it's time to do some educational work, but because I was seeing everywhere that old Jiu-Jitsu dojos are disappearing, especially in America. So with my old teachers, I got together with John Denora, with Tony Raven, with Professor WJ and Prof, and we decided it's time to create a traditional organization where we support the traditional Japanese group. That's how it started. So the founding fathers were my old senseis. That was the founding fathers. The mission now is, we have now the very defined mission. It's very important for any organization to find their place, because there's a lot of organizations that exist in the world, but they cannot really define what they really want to do. That's why they have no plan, no goal. We define the mission. The mission is preserving Japanese Buddha. That's our mission. So now, since we're continuing, so now we know where we're going. We can see where we're going. So that's what we're focusing. Yes. And trying to bring the tradition back.
But in this case, you're saying about 70
countries.
How many countries have their real tradition?
Honestly, real Jiu-Jitsu, very few countries practicing and supporting real Jiu-Jitsu. Because in a lot of countries, they think they're doing Jiu-Jitsu, but it's not Jiu-Jitsu. Because when I travel, I look, I analyze, I try to give a little seed of my wisdom to them, but I cannot change what they do. I can only give them advice. Yeah. So I would say out of 70 countries, half of them do traditional Judo.
What is the name of the famous school in this country?
In Italy? Or?
Not Italy. Example, different country. What is the style? What is the dance?
A lot of them have they have different names. There's a lot of different styles with different names. But a lot of them wanna bring back the traditions. So they start asking me to teach Katabami Jiu-Jitsu that I teach. So a lot of them are becoming also members of my clan. So a lot of countries now have a program of training. So I show them the program, and they follow the protocol of traditional jiu-jitsu.
And the traditional you including also the
Meditation, everything. We work with weapons, with swords, meditation, qigong, restoration therapy. So the people who are very close to me, they're the ones who really focus on traditional jiu-jitsu. That's why, like, Yury, he's my attorney, but at the same time he follows very strict traditions. He also does manual therapy and restoration. So people who really want to learn, we're open. We're open. They want to learn, we work. They don't want to learn, fine.
We send the menu. People want to this menu.
Yeah. But they have to want it. I'm not forcing anybody. If they really want to learn and they want to work together, we're open.
The idea is to the umbrella.
Yeah.
Inside this umbrella, we have different systems, because last time we did a system, and at the same time,
Exactly. We created a big umbrella, and they can practice what they like. I'm not interfering. But if they want to learn specific something, then there is no democracy. Then I tell them what techniques and practice. Yes. I like to hear that because a lot of Europeans think it should be, especially in Scandinavian countries, they say, we want to be democracy. And they don't understand. The minute it's democracy, organization is dead.
Before is about Ju-Jitsu. We have a discussion about that. This is important. But I
No. And you know, and it's important to tell people why. The first reason, what is a martial arts? It's a military art. And there is an officer structure. If it's no military art, then we just do dancing. We can go dancing.
People talking, I want to go today to fight. I like to sleep, very good.
Then you go to dance, you know.
This is correct.
But there are some people saying, like in Denmark, there's a couple of people saying, we want democracy. Then they don't do martial arts, you know. There is no such thing.
One point for them, say, the future cooperation in the different countries, maybe. Create a system
Of course.
to cooperate.
Yes, why not?
And maybe like preparing the list of the couple of years our delegation membership.
Because when it's different countries, then we don't interfere in their policy. They run the way they want to do it, but as we
at the
work.
same time, we send the letter, we open this cooperation, and when your representative organize anything, I think it's important to invite, to talk in,
Sure.
and because mine, and try to amalgamate the idea.
Because if we work together, we're stronger. We can promote our message.
This is the idea, because the problem is that we don't know if you want to send it like I propose for the International Judo Federation to open inside the CONI department for the traditional jiu-jitsu side. Various videos, the actual investment, and we're talking this in Tokyo, the World Championship in 1910. Yes. But my idea is important to realize inside the school logical Not because the money is spent in one style and everybody if it's possible, work as well this way. But that's it, because when I am younger, 2 million years ago, I promise my daughter, the Japanese preserve the yen for the school. The little groups, yes, exactly, with little, tradition is very little. And my idea to keep giving the chance to other people to look the same. Maybe you have seen the side. YouTube, Facebook, YouTube. Nel senso, lui è preso, no, perché a due mani in giro per no, a due mani pesantissimo,
Yes, please. Okay. But what we're doing right now, see, judo changing now, not in a good way.
But judo now is the federation for the conference.
Yes, but they're changing. They, instead of changing and attracting more people, they're changing and losing people. So what we decided, let's bring the tradition also back to judo as well. So AJJIF, this year we just signed a new agreement when we establish new rules for judo and jiu-jitsu people. If they want to compete, we have a special rules, we call it randori tournaments. When judo people can come and compete in jiu-jitsu division, show them technique, not anger, strength. We don't want to see that, we want to see the technique. So in our new randori tournaments, when people come, instead of using strength, they make a throw, next person make a throw, they have like 2 minutes to do many different throws with no resistance, to do a throw and everybody see it, so everybody can see the quality, and the judges will say, okay, we see this beautiful throw, so we give them, you know, yes, and now it's getting the momentum because people say this has meaning, because now we can see the technique. Because over the years the technique got really bad. They only use speed, strength, they training, but wow. I will find it on YouTube. So what is Romania? So now we're bringing even back the tradition of judo back, because we're creating this new tournaments when judo people and jiu-jitsu people come without strength or aggression, perform clean, beautiful throw, and the judges will say, yes, this is a, so we would give this half point and 1 point, so in 2 minutes they have to perform as many throws as they can, changing back and forth. And then, first of all, you can test people, because you say, oh, he's a winner, look how many beautiful and clean throws, that means he knows the technique. So you can grade people on that. Plus, the old people in the master division cannot go and fight in judo, because they're too old. But they can come in and do clean, beautiful throw, and it's not dangerous. Yes. Yes. So that's what we're creating now and pushing. It's getting very strong popularity, getting support. No, not yet. I'll give them time when they come to me. I don't want to come, let them come to me first.
vice president
If they're reasonable, I'm willing to be open and friendly. If they're open, I'm open to meet and talk. Please? I'm open. I'm always open. I'm always open.
Together, we are not interested in competition.
No.
We know.
And we're not going to step on their territory. This is their territory
We are
competition.
more interested in the same. But it's interesting to open this department.
We're open. If they're willing to cooperate, we're willing to cooperate because then we can do more good together.
Last year, Brazil, but growing, so they tell you because I found it not coming this way.
Lui era un mestizo.
Sure. We even can extend an invitation to come to St. Petersburg.
This day is in Sanctioned for the combat game and for the
Maybe they're welcome to come because we're going to have a government people attending our event. So they're welcome. Yes, I will send them the information. So yes.
Adesso ritorna a quello che fai.